Hey everyone, my name is Greg. I'm with SnapRetail here. I'm going to be taking you through this webinar here that I got cooked up for you. Couple of things here. First off, this is going to be recorded, so if you guys have to run, I know small businesses are pretty busy. So this will be in your inbox, most likely tomorrow there. If you ever want to, maybe if you don't have any notes or anything like that in front of you here, you could always take notes on it if you need to, or if you need to run, you're going to have this forever here. It'll be in your inbox tomorrow. But yeah, basically today's webinar is one that I actually cooked up. Most of the time these topics are handed to me, but this one is one that I felt that would really help a lot of beginners with the fundamentals of a marketing plan. So along or short story here, I was in sales once at like a startup, and they just handed, and this is before I was obviously involved with Snap Retail and marketing and the like there in anything. I had sold cars previously to this sales job, but it was a software sales job, and they just go, okay, Greg, hey, you're in charge of the email marketing now, and you're also in charge of the social media posting there. I had no idea what to do. Little did I know that later on I'd be in this field there, and kind of pretty knowledgeable on the topic there. And I would have wished that I had this webinar here to kind of just give me the fundamentals on who, what, and when to post or to talk to. And I'll go briefly over the why and the how. Those are kind of standard things. But this webinar is mostly meant for if you're just starting out, maybe you're an intern and they've handed some responsibilities onto you and you're handling this. Maybe you're a small business owner. Your expertise is being an entrepreneur and being an amazing human and everything. And marketing is something that you just have to learn. And maybe it's not a full-time job worth you, but you're just trying to have a fundamental marketing plan going forward that you can build on from there. And this will be a very solid start for you. So here, I'm going to get out of here. And before last webinar, it was muting my microphone every single time I'd close out of this window. So bear with me 1 second. I'm going to get out of here. We're going to close out of that. And we're going to dive right into Snap Retail here. And my microphone is not muted. That's good. Okay, so let me quickly address the why and the how, because who, what, when, why, how. Those are the questions you're really asking when you're deciding what to do with online marketing. Obviously, the why. If you Google, or if you've ever heard, why should I email market? Why should I build, or why should I social media market? You're going to get two kind of generic. They're true, but they're two kind of generic statements. It's to build brand awareness and to drive sales. And why I don't like it to be that generic is because, first off, building brand awareness is great when you're doing well and you want to do better. But we're talking about in this webinar fundamentals. We're starting from scratch here. And the second point here, drive sales. Well, everything you're doing is trying to drive sales. Your billboard out front or your sign posted, you're trying to drive sales. You're trying to do this. But why specifically email marketing and social media marketing? There's one big reason, one small reason. The big reason, the return on investment. If you go to incognito mode, if you go over here, and I suggest incognito mode because you're going to get spammed with all sorts of ads if you Google this just on your regular browser. But go ahead and Google best return on investment marketing strategies. Return on investment, you're going to get articles from Forbes, you're going to get articles from Statista that are all going to point towards email marketing and probably some on social media marketing as well. What are other things like, for example, flyers and mail, purchasing ads through Google and Facebook? And if you're a marketing whiz and you're a full-time marketer in a big company and that's your full-time job and you can manage all that there, yeah, that definitely helps there, and it's something that it's an avenue that you're going to explore here. But if we're talking return on investment, the amount of money that you put into this versus the amount of money it generates, it'll pale in comparison. You buy some Google ads, you buy some Facebook ads, you purchase per click there. All of a sudden you get a bill for $700. Oh, all these people clicked on your ad here, but how much did it actually generate you? You don't really know. With email marketing and social media marketing, and I'm talking about having a Facebook page, a Twitter page, and an Instagram page that you're just posting and building some awareness there. Statistically, let's say that statistically you're some sort of outlier here, and maybe it doesn't work for you. Maybe you got other crucial things wrong with the business there, and the off chance that this doesn't work for you, which would be a very slim chance. You read some of those articles here, and it's a very slim chance. What are you out? I think our most basic plan here, if you want to dip your toe in the water, is $20 a month. So, and maybe an hour's worth of your time or something. But if you do post here on social media here, and you craft some emails, you have a newsletter that's going out there, and one customer purchases because of it, I mean, that's going to pay for it right there. So the real why is because the return on investment is so high. It's a nominal monthly fee there. It's based on how many contacts that you have in your email contacts list, and then just what, 2-3 hours of your time at most once a month, and it should basically bring you from a little league baseball team to maybe like a AAA type of a caliber marketing strategy there. Nice thing to build off of from there. Of course, you can build off of this later there. And the how is obviously, so why is because obviously we're trying to build brand awareness, drive sales, because the return on investment is so high. The other reason is privacy concerns, by the way. I touched on that, why there's a small reason too. I'm kind of all over the place here. A lot of places like Apple, one of their features is the fact that they don't share data back and forth between apps. So, and similar to this, if you go to any kind of like retail website that's based in the UK specifically, you're going to notice that you can reject cookies rather than having to accept that. It's because privacy laws and features, people are valuing their privacy here. So even like my girlfriend, she's in marketing and this is her full-time job. And what she does, she goes through cookies, she targets ads and the like there. Well, that's kind of going away here with these two things. So now she's left with good old-fashioned email marketing and social media scheduling. So that's the small reason. The big reason is the return on investment, and the smaller reason is privacy. This is essentially the future. And the how, who, what, when, why, how. The how of this is a social media scheduler and an email marketing platform. Those are the only tools you need. Maybe an hour of your time every month if you consider that. A social media scheduler and an email marketing platform. SnapRetail is great because it's all under one roof here. Here is your planning calendar. This has my social media posts on it. This has my emails right here. I can craft social posts right from here and schedule them there. And I can create my own emails and draft them up and send them all under one tool. If you didn't use SnapRetail, you'd have to use a combination of marketing tools. You'd have to use like Hootsuite as a social media scheduler, and like MailChimp or Constant Contact as an email marketing service there. You'd have to, set up 2 accounts, pay for 2 accounts there. And then also you won't have them all on one calendar unless if you keep it super organized. But this is more convenient here. So we're going to be using SnapRetail. And so those are the two tools that you'll need to go over how to do this. So let's start going into who, what, and when, because these are the big ones. When I was handed this, it's like, okay, well, I guess I'll make some posts about it. The business was in credit repair, I remember. And so like, what do I even post? Like, I don't understand. Like, who do I send this to? Who do I send this email to? Is it a drip campaign? Is it, how often should I post it? What should the content be? We're going to give you a good foundation of all those questions right now. I'm going to separate it into social media and email. And so we'll start with social media right now. We'll start with Twitter as my first example. Okay, so some of these are going to be very straightforward. Who are we sending this to? Obviously, your Twitter followers. So if I was to make a social post here, you can't really segment your social media down other than the social media platform that you're posting to. So in this case, the who, obviously your Twitter followers. What to say to your customers? Well, there's going to be a couple things I covered: Facebook and Instagram. Basically, Twitter is you can basically post the most bulk, low effort content that you. No, not really. Twitter is kind of, there's no limit on the amount of posts that you can make. At a minimum, I would say, yeah, you know what? Anything that you post on Facebook and anything that you post on Instagram is probably worth you tweeting out. But tweeting, if you look at Twitter, how it's organized is people are searching by hashtags. People aren't necessarily following you that'll see your content. So let me give you an example. SnapRetail is based out of Pittsburgh. Let's say we were a Pittsburgh-based brand. And there was, maybe a hockey game, maybe the Penguins are playing or something. Crosby scores a hat trick. Yeah, I could tweet that. Put the hashtag Penguins, hashtag my small business, blah, that type of thing. If my retail store is linked towards Twitter or towards local, then yeah, you could basically tweet current events. You could tweet anything that's local to your business there. If you have a brick and mortar that's only in one state, one county, yeah, tweet it out, because people will see those hashtags. They'll see your content that they're not necessarily following you, but maybe they're, oh, hey, that's that brand that I like there, and they're tweeting about the Penguins. Oh yeah, let's give them a follow there. You can basically, and to that it's like, yeah, social media scheduler's handy because, yeah, if you have any sales or if you have any promotions, you want them definitely to be posting on your calendar. And so, yeah, you'll have some tweets that are going to be set into the firmament of your marketing strategy there. But Twitter is also one, if you just have your phone handy, you think of something to tweet it out. It's probably the least important one to focus on, but yeah, you don't want to leave engagement on the table. If you're trying to squeeze out that extra 16% that maybe your Twitter reach will get, what's it really costing you? You copy your Facebook posts onto your Twitter. You think of some tweets every once in a while to throw out there. There's really no limit, and that kind of gets into what are you posting? Yeah, it's anything that you'd post on Facebook and Instagram, and anything that's local, essentially, or that pertains to your business. There's really no hard cap on how many tweets you post. You don't really risk being unfollowed or anything. People are searching by hashtags, so the when is kind of it's not super important there. But if we go into Facebook, because Facebook is the opposite. Facebook is the king right now. Who, obviously, with social media, yep, we're talking about your Facebook followers here, or people that follow your Facebook business page. That's who we're talking to. What are we saying? Facebook is kind of in between Twitter and Instagram. If you think when you're scrolling through Facebook, you might scroll through, you find an ad that maybe it's not really relevant to you. You scroll down a little bit more. There's a page from a hobby that you were in a couple years ago. You scroll down a little bit more. Here's a post from your cousin saying something you might disagree with, and then you scroll down a little bit more. Oh, here's one of my favorite brands. I follow this post here. Oh, they're asking what my favorite product is that they've ever purchased from me. Oh, you know what? Yeah, I always wanted to tell them something here. It's kind of like a middle of the road type of post. You normally you don't want to just post any old thing on there, but it doesn't have to be the most high effort post in the world. It can be things like questionnaires, or polls, or it can be new items that you're dropping. If you have new releases, maybe you're running some events, or maybe you're going live on Facebook on Fridays and you want to remind people, hey, on Friday we're going live here with a Q&A or the like there. You can do meet the staff posts, you can do customer appreciation posts, pictures of your team behind the scenes, pictures of new products that you have. The sky's the limit. It's just you kind of want to keep it a little bit more tidy, because now I'm going to get into the when. The when for Facebook, because remember, people are only seeing this content if they follow your post. The when is, and this is pulled from marketing statistic websites here like Statista, that's mostly 1 to 2 posts per day is the most that you'd really want to do. Anything is better than nothing, but 1 to 2 is normally. Anything less, and you're risking leaving engagement on the table. You could have posted something on this Thursday. Yeah, you could have. And if you don't, then yeah, you left a little bit of engagement on the table there maybe. If you post more than twice in a given day, now you risk, maybe you're spamming folks and you start risking them unsubscribing to things. So who? Obviously your Facebook followers. What? Content that's pretty relevant, any kind of sales, any kind of behind the scenes. SnapRetail gives you all sorts of reminders here. Like for example, the 17th is Martin Luther King Day in America here. So it gives you a little bit of an idea of what to post on any given day here. You want to just basically touch base here. And to kind of contrast this, Instagram is the one that's super high effort. I'm about to get into that. The other when with Facebook, and this is why a social media scheduling tool is so important, I think, is because not only is it nice to see, okay, yeah, most days here I'm posting on Facebook. This looks good. And I don't have to worry about waking up at a certain time or, oh, oops, I forgot. I got to post on Facebook here. There's another core reason why this is borderline essential, is that you really want to post it at times where people would be on Facebook. For example, if you post it right smack dab in the middle of the workday, your post is going to get buried. Nobody's going to really engage with it until they get out of work. And by that time, the algorithm might have buried you there. So a rule of thumb is in the early mornings. So people, when they're drinking their coffee and browsing Facebook, or when they first wake up, maybe they scroll on Facebook to help them wake up in the morning. Post early in the morning, then post at lunch breaks, and then when people get out of work here. So the reason why a social media scheduling tool is good for that is because obviously you don't want to have to wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning every day just to post a thing on Facebook here. With a social media scheduler, you'll be able to just choose the date and the time that you'd like to send it. And then you don't have to worry about it. It's going to send out automatically. You're not going to have a care in the world there. It's going to go. You can always go in and edit it. You have to edit things in the future here, but you can always go through and edit the things that you post there. But yeah, other than that, that's one of the beautiful things about having a social media scheduler. And now I'm going to go to Instagram. Obviously, Instagram, the who, your Instagram followers, but by extension also your Facebook followers. They're kind of connected. Facebook and Instagram are linked there. But that is what is very distinguishable from the other two. Instagram, if you think of how people view Instagram, it's very different from Twitter and Facebook. These are people's idols that they're following, or these are, and I'm talking about the news feed right now, not necessarily the reels. The news feed, these should be your high effort posts. You don't really want to just slap together an Instagram post. It's to the point where if you can do it every day, yeah, absolutely, that's great. But really, you want to focus. You want to on high quality posts. What's a high quality post though, Greg? Well, you want a clear call to action. Maybe it's something that is a product that you're coming out with. You want a very nice picture of it. You want to apply any filters that make it look. You don't want it to just be out of focus. You don't want it you want to make sure that it's a high quality photo there. Using any filters, using any of the stickers that are appropriate, using any kind of sound in the background, adding locations, adding hashtags, creating an Instagram post. It should be kind of a labor of love a little bit there. Still worth using a social media scheduler for it, because now the bulk of the work you can plan on it throughout the week there. But yeah, if you want to set small goals, I think a weekly Instagram post would be very important there. And again, it differs from the other two in that those posts are the ones that are like you want to start doing a little bit of labor of loves there. Now, if you're posting to Reels like Facebook Reels and Instagram, those circles at the top there that you go through and you watch those short little stories, those can be a little bit more forgiving. Those expire every 24 hours there. That kind of follows the advice of Twitter there. Anything that you can kind of think of that would be appropriate to your business, you'd want to be posting on there. So if we get an idea there, we should be having a similar amount of Facebook and Twitter posts on your calendar here, because those are anything that you're posting on Facebook, you probably want to be posting on Twitter. And the excess things of Twitter, following local sports or any kind of like local thing, and I stress local, anything that's relevant to your business. If you're a pottery business and some vendors came out with some big news and there's a hashtag for it and you're tweeting about that because it was a big release, those I almost say, yeah, you don't even have to worry about scheduling those, just whatever you can think of there. But yeah, Facebook and Twitter is roughly equal, with some labor of loves here with some Instagram. I think I have an Instagram post there as well. There's one as well. One a week at least. And that kind of gives you a nice little template and the type of attitude that you want behind each of these posts here. Okay, now let's get into email. The email who, what, and when. Who are you sending these emails out to? Well, email list that you collected. That's the short answer there. But there's a couple other things that we can do. When you're creating emails, especially in SnapRetail, but really any email marketing tool that's worth its salt, you should be able to make as many lists as you want. Here I have, this is a demo account here, so you're going to see that there's a Frankenstein amount of lists here, but it's good for our demonstration purposes. Let's say people that have March birthdays, or people who aren't named Steven. I don't know why that one's in there. People that came in and bought shoes. You should be able to sort these, and I don't have any customers in there because I don't have any customers in this demo list here, but it's very easy to add people to lists. If I go to all, I can easily edit, put them on any list that I want right here. So it's worth it to go through your customer list there, or when you're adding customers, maybe at your point of sale, maybe you add them to the lists right there at the point of sale. You take note of what they bought and you put them in there. And the reason why is because let's say that I'm going to jump over to our email editor here. Let's say that you want to craft up a weekly newsletter. That's a good thing. Email who we're doing, your general customer base there. It would benefit from a weekly newsletter here. So maybe I think I have a template in here for newsletters. Yeah, latest news. Let's say that we're crafting up this email here. This goes out to the general population here, everybody that subscribed to your email thing. We're going to schedule that. Let's say we already built it. It's a very easy to use email editor. We're going to get into how to craft specific emails in later things, but this is roughly this is more geared towards the the broad strokes here. We're going to send this to everybody, but let's say that I wanted to craft up an email for people who buy watches. Segmenting your email lists like that have a much greater open rate and a much greater click-through rate. So if I were to create an email that was specifically for watch purchasers, I could make it highlight specifically any watches that I had, any new things. All of these images, I could make the image a watch. Do I have any watch stock images? Let's take a look here. Yeah. And then I could make it go to the specific part on my website that sells these watches. And you can segment your email lists based like that, and that's going to have a higher open rate. That's going to have a better click-through rate. So not only will they open it, they'll click the links and view the items there. And that's another way of the essentially who you're emailing here. We can get into, this is a fundamentals thing, but we can also get into autoresponders and the like there. That's for later lessons. Okay, what are you saying to your customers? We kind of covered that a little bit. Newsletters, products, promotions. We're gonna ask for surveys. We're gonna have meet the staff type things. You can kind of go off of the ideas of your social media schedule or what you're scheduling there. Basically, quality content you want in your emails, because let's get into the when. When are you sending emails? This is called your email cadence. And to be truthful, it kind of goes off of the industry. Most of them are twice a week, like a midweek email and a Friday email, then any autoresponders that you have. But it's also industry dependent there. If you Google your industry and email cadence, you'll have a lot of marketing research on how often you should be touching bases with your customers there. The broad strokes, though, one that you can't really go wrong with is 1 to 2 times a week. You gotta make sure that when you're filling out your email marketing scheduler here, that, okay, we got a Facebook post just about every day. We got a decent amount of Twitter posts here. Good. We have a couple really nice Instagram posts, and we got some emails that we can send out as well. All right. Well, we got the who, what, and when of Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. We got the who, what, and when to send emails out to folks there. Kind of covered again, this is a fundamentals class here, but yeah, were there any questions here? You can actually ask questions here in GoToMeeting here, or GoToWebinar, and I'll stick around here for a couple questions here. But yeah, as far as if you're listening to this on a pre-recorded thing, this concludes our webinar. Thank you very much. Have a great day. I'm sticking around for any questions you guys may have. Oh, Mary, that's a good question. Mary DM'd me here. She said, if you wanted to get started with SnapRetail, how do you get started here? Right here, snapretail.com. Request a demo with me. You could start a free trial on it. Doesn't really, it does not require any kind of credit card or anything of that nature there. You can just sign up for a free trial. It's 14 days. Play around with it. See if you want to use this tool going forward. Even if you got a 14-day free trial, or even if you're on the fence about getting that, go ahead and request a demo. That's me. You pick out a time on my calendar here. I'll take you through any questions that you might have about using SnapRetail. Make sure you're an expert about it. Make sure any questions that you might have about email marketing or social media scheduling, maybe you have a specific question there that you don't want to ask the whole webinar about, I'll take care of you there. Go ahead and request a demo with me. Okay, guys, that looks like the lone question there. So I'm going to wrap this up here. We're at 1:30 exactly here. I'll let you guys get back to your day there. Thank you very much for attending. We'll talk soon. Bye-bye.